just an example. You are somebody I look up to, and that's the reason I have signed up with you.
Welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. And today's topic is a very, very important one, not only regarding transitioning to the digital economy or setting up a business. I think today's topic is very important in life general. How we progress, how we feel ourselves, and all these kind of things. So today I would like to talk about all the different limiting beliefs and mind states that can stop us from progressing life and achieving what we want to achieve. Before going into our subject, and I really like to keep our webinar within an hour because time is a precious thing for all of us. And but before going into the topic, I'm just asking you guys whether you have any questions to me about anything related to transitioning to the online business or related to topic. Maybe you can give me a lead for today's topic. You have a limiting beliefs that you feel this is your main limiting beliefs and it stops you progression in life. For example, Raymond, and guys, if I pick any of you or I pick myself, it's not because I'm patronizing, and it's not because I'm just using live kind of examples to support my point. And Raymond, you made a note about you remember what it is. I don't want to repeat it.
Easy. I was just joking.
You know, when anybody tells me that I don't mean this and that, but and continues with the sentence. If you have ever learned NLP, the neuro-linguistic programming, when anybody starts anything for you that I don't mean to hurt you, in translation, it means I mean to hurt you. And now I keep going with my sentence and I finish my sentence. So it's very important when you joke with something or you say, I don't mean to, it always means that in your head, you have that meaning. And how did I get to this point? Yeah, okay. So for example, what you said was an example of a limiting belief, because you know when I start. Okay, it's very good because we can argue on this, and these kind of things are always lead to a learning point. And I would like to just give you a personal example. When I started my journey with SFM 3 years ago, I was very concerned with my language, with my English, because it's a second language. You know, I am Hungarian originally, and I had issues with my language, whether I can speak English enough, good enough, you know, and all of us. And I'm a cosmetic doctor, so I treat people to look better. So I have some photo models in my practice. So you can imagine the top 99% most beautiful women. And at the beginning of the consultation, I listened 5 minutes about how bad they look, how the rest of the models they work with, their legs are more beautiful, their face are more, and we are talking about the 99 most beautiful women. And I always tell them, look, if you have issues with your look, what can we say, you know, the rest of the people? And it's a very, very important point in the personal development, and sorry for my French, but we need to get to the point when we give a shit about what other people think about us. It's a very, very important point in the personal development. Because if whenever you expose yourself, like now I'm exposing myself to you guys, and if I was thinking about how I look, how I speak, and all these kind of things, you know, it would take me to my original intention is to helping you guys. And if your intention is clear and good, nothing else matters. So that's why I am absolutely happy to be here, absolutely free to be here, because my intention is clear and I have one goal here tonight is helping your journey. That's it. Whatever happens, I'm happy with it because my intention is good. Raymond or anybody else, anything else to add to this point?
Well, I'm a foreigner in the UK like you. A self-deprecating approach to life is not necessarily to be assumed to be presenting a core belief. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cultural nuance. That's all it is.
Okay, interesting point. I need to think a little bit about this. Guys, let me share my screen with you, and please confirm whether you can see my screen. And I would like to just the slideshow from France. No, okay, sorry. A little bit of yes. Okay, so just very quickly, a couple of things. So in just a little bit of housekeeping, please keep an open mind in this webinar and empty your cup. So always arrive to a webinar with an empty cup, because if your cup is full, there is nothing more that we can put it in. So have an open mind and an empty cup. And I feel your vibrations, guys. So no negativity is not a comment for you. And please stop me anytime, and please challenge me anytime, and just ask your questions whenever you feel so, because this really a conversation here. It's not my performance. Just very quickly, I'm a medical doctor. I founded a more clinic franchise back in 2005 in Hungary. That's me with my colleagues. And in 2010, I moved to the UK, and this I founded. So I established my own clinic here in the UK. That's with my colleagues. And in 2017, I joined SFM, which is an international training platform. And you can see here with Justin Wolf. He's a kind of a communication guru. Myself with my wife, Stu, one of the founders of the SFM, and sorry, Alex, who is a branding and yeah, branding guru. That's my brief story, and this is not a slide that I would like to show you. And this is today's topic. So today I would like to talk about limiting beliefs, and at the bottom of the screen I really believe it from the core of my heart that our mindset, what is in our head, can make us or break us. So whenever I start with a new project, whatever it is, it's a business or anything, we always need to look at in our head what's going on in our head, and at the right upper corner of the screen you can see a Windows message which is upgrade required, because usually we upgrade our phones and cars and everything, but sometimes we forget about upgrading our beliefs. And our beliefs are formed during the time as we grow up. Our family has a great influence, friends and everything, and the beliefs and our mindset develops for our adult life is usually not according our will. It's happening a little bit randomly. So that's why from time to time it's worth to have a kind of an upgrade and check in, and especially these quarantine times are very good for that, because we have time to sit down and reflect and think a little bit about ourselves and our view of the world and what's going outside in the world and how we're going to adjust to the new world and these kind of things, so that our current mindset is a good mindset to be able to cope of the reality of the world outside, these kind of things. And I'm going to talk about limiting beliefs, and I have a list of, I don't know, 14 items, and I would like to go through this list. And if any of these resonates with you, or you have any comment, or you would like to argue with me, or just add any points, just please stop me and have a conversation. So I wouldn't like to talk. I don't like my voice. And when I say I don't like my voice, again, it's a limiting belief. And self-love is an important thing, and I should love my voice. So, but I just wanted to tell you guys that I don't want to talk all the time. The point one is definitely none of you. Because if you were the person who puts the head in the sand and complete denial of the reality and no ownership for your future, you wouldn't be here, for sure. So I am 100% positive. The first limiting belief is not you, 100%. I don't know whether you want to challenge me on this or not, but the first step in the personal growth, when you check in with reality, if you need, you surrender. Sometimes you can't control what's going on in the environment, and sometimes you need to surrender. You need to accept whatever is going on. Because many times in my life, you have two choices. One, you fight. The second, you surrender. And sometimes we need to fight, obviously. And I'm really, really interested, guys, what you have to say here. But most of the times, it's better if we surrender. And stop fighting with the circumstances. We surrender. We step back. We little bit think, little bit observe, and we come up with a plan how we can adjust. So what do you think, guys, in your personal life? Is it because fighting, especially with some, so for example, Brexit, I really pumped up myself about Brexit and how a crazy thing it is, and I was fighting, I was donating anti-Brexit things, and it's absolutely nonsense. This is something that we need to accept, like the current situation. We need to accept, we need to step back and assess and come up with a plan. What's the best way to grow, or to any thoughts on this, guys?
Forgive me, Bella. I might come across as thick. I'm not quite understanding the purpose, process, and payoff of this. So we've jumped straight to limiting the beliefs. Have I got any limiting beliefs? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, but before going there, I would like to go back to your first point. You know, I am an affiliate marketer.
Yeah.
And I affiliate SFN as a learning institute where I'm a member for 3 years by now. And for this reason, I have videos on YouTube, and whomever this video resonates, they subscribe for my list.
Yeah.
And I communicate with the people on my list. And I invited these people to my webinar about limiting beliefs, because I believe talking about this topic is a very useful thing in life. But my overall kind of overarching subject or purpose is transitioning to the digital economy. And sometimes people, you know, it requires a little bit of entrepreneurial fire and entrepreneurial blood, because many people are in jobs, unfulfilling jobs that they hate, and they would like to kind of achieve a little bit of freedom and more, all the benefits of online business. So you can build it from your home, being able to leverage the global market, multiple revenue streams. you can do affiliate marketing, you can sell products. There's so many things out there that you can do, but these limiting beliefs stop most of the people to take action because they might think I am too old, I'm too young, I'm not tech savvy, uh, I can't do this because I'm just not good enough. And all these kind of, bullshits that we can come up in our head stop us. So that's why the big picture, and thank you for asking it because it's a very important question, and I should have started with this. The overarching reason for being here and my intention is to talk about those limiting beliefs that stops you in general in life to proceed, or in this particular content stops you to take action and build your own online business, which can lead you to the lifestyle that you are wishing to have. Is it clear enough?
Yeah, brilliant. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and within this, we talk about limiting beliefs, and the first limiting belief is head in the sand, absolutely denial of the reality. So I am good as I am, and I'm not willing to develop as a person, and I'm just go to the office every Monday, and I work till Friday, and I don't care about anything. But obviously, none of us belongs to this category because you are here, we are here, and we are dedicated to personal development, if I'm right. Yeah. The next one is a very interesting thing. I do online trading as well. I trade currency pairs and stock prices and these kind of things. And I went to a online trading course, and the trainer, who was an international trainer, and he had trainings in the UK and in Vietnam, in Thailand, and all these places. And he told a very interesting thing that stuck in my mind. At one point, when we came up with too many questions during the training, and he said, guys, you are not hungry enough. You just ask questions, one question follows the other, questions, and you just don't do what I say. In Asia, they don't, obviously they come up with some questions, but they don't ask so many questions that you guys here in the UK. They just do what I say, and they have results, and you guys, you don't have results. And it was a very interesting comment that absolutely stuck in my mind, that we are not hungry enough. We live a comfortable life here in the UK, so we are not motivated enough to get out of our seats and take action and do things. In Asia, they are hungry enough to not ask too many questions, but do the work, and they have results while we don't have as many results. So it's a very interesting point. I just wanted to add it here. Just to be aware of this, that we in the UK, as a first country, we might be not hungry enough to take action. The third thing is having limiting beliefs that, like, I'm not good enough, or the victim mentality. So, when we live our lives, we always have a monkey sitting on our shoulder, and whatever we are doing, this monkey comments on us. We decide something, and immediately in that moment, the monkey starts talking, you are not good enough for this. Remember the last time when you tried to do something, it was a failure, and it's gonna be a failure. So for some reason, maybe it's an evolutionary reason, so our brain tried to keep us in a safe place. And as a caveman, when we ventured out, it meant danger. So there was a chance to be caught by a tiger, or and maybe it was an evolutionary survival benefit, but our brain comes up with everything to stop us doing anything. And we need to be aware of this, and we need to silence this monkey, and we need to kind of be aware of this. And instead of letting this monkey to talk to us, it's a better thing to be our own coach. And what does a coach do? The coach asks questions. So if I come up with an idea, instead letting the monkey talking about you are not good enough, ask a question. How can I do that? what kind of resources I need to do that, whom I need to contact to be able to do it. So be your own coach instead of letting the monkey talking to you.
Agreed.
So this is the message of this third point. The fourth one is a very interesting point, guys. So skepticism versus cynicism, if my English pronunciation is good. So skepticism is when you are skeptic whether something is true, and cynicism is when you have an inclination towards presuming that the person has an ill motive. Yeah. So the difference between one, skepticism is a healthy thing, because you are skeptic that you are it might be not true, but cynicism has a very negative meaning, because it suggests an ill motive. Yeah, so it's very important to be clear with the two, and it's okay to be a skeptic, but it's definitely not okay to be a cynicist, or maybe this is the right word. A very interesting, the next mindset state is wanting to see the complete picture before starting anything. And if anybody, for example, a very good example is Jeff Bezos. When Jeff Bezos left his job and started to build an online bookshop, he definitely didn't have a view of the big picture, and he definitely didn't have an idea that he was going to become the richest person on earth, and he gonna build Amazon. So it's almost always just impossible to see the big picture when you go into a new venture, and we need to know this. Life in general, but any business is a journey. And we need to just get to the point to taking the first step. So just start working on a business plan, then get to the MVP, the minimal viable product stage, and don't try to have a vision of the big picture, the complete picture, because it's just not possible. And if you try to do that, it's definitely gonna stop you to do anything, because it's just too complex to picture, too complex to comprehend. And the beauty of any business is when you start your journey, I think 99% of the cases, it's gonna take you to a different place where you wanted to go. Because you learn things happen, and most of the time you're gonna end up at a better place than where you wanted to go initially. So whenever you start anything, just take the first step, let it develop by itself, and try to enjoy the journey. It's not always possible, because every journey has its hurdles, and we need to know that the hurdle is there to teach us something. Something is missing, and the hurdle is there to teach us something that is missing. And because of this, we kind of need to appreciate the hurdles, which is not easy. I'm just an example from today. I'm just building a new supplement range, and I talk to manufacturers in China. This is something, again, that you can learn in SFM. I learned it SFM, and I have a product in Amazon, and based on that knowledge, I'm building another product. And I talked to 5 manufacturers, and all of them are failed for some reasons. And the fourth one looked a very good one, and was very disappointed that I couldn't get over to certain point with that manufacturer, and I was very close to giving up the whole project. And now I found another one, which is flawless communication, very high quality, very good vibration with the person I'm communicating with. So so everything happens for a reason. And it was very good that I failed with the first four ones, and finally I found the good one. But when you are in the situation, it's very difficult to remind yourself. So you know, I need to remind myself that the hurdles are there for a reason. Very important message, guys. Again, very important thing. Guys, any comments, any, because I don't want to just really monologize. I don't know whether it's an English word or not. I don't want to just speak monologize. Any comments, anything pro or contra from your life that you can add to these points so far? Yes, please, Remy.
I totally agree with everything you've said. I haven't found anything to question or to challenge. I'm just particularly grateful that the realism that you are presenting and the factual, non-deniable facts of life, you are presenting them with simplicity that's accessible to ordinary people. You're not complicating the equation. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And Paul just joined us. Hi, Paul. I don't know if you can share in the chat that where you are checking in from, or you just unmute yourself and you can just let us know where are you checking in from. But in the meantime, let me go on with the presentation talking about limiting beliefs, or beliefs that stop us in our lives to progress whatever we want, new business or anything else in the life. And we are yes, at point 6, wanting results before committing doing. So in this, I like to kind of refer to, let's say, Tiger Woods, who is a professional golfer. And when he went into golf, he could have said to his trainer, please show me results before I commit to golf. So it's this is not how it works. So first you need to commit, you need to put in the hard work, and then the results come. So it's a very important mindset, and we have to be all clear about that we need to commit first and we need to put the work in before the results come, and it's not vice versa. And the reason I'm talking about this, because many cases I see this kind of mentality. And yeah, I asked Paul to put in the chat where he's checking in, but when my then my PowerPoint is in this setting, I just can't access the chat. So
from Germany.
Yeah, from Germany. Okay. Great. Okay, so the seventh is, yeah, it's a very important point again. So, you know, we want to achieve, most of us, freedom and more financial security in our lives. And sometimes we can think that tactics and strategies or someone's system can give us the result we want. And there are many people out there who are jumping from one idea to the other. So for example, I receive an email a day minimum about a new Bitcoin platform, about a new affiliate marketing opportunity, about this, about that. So there are so many things, and the beauty of this, that all, if it's not a scam, because there is a chance it's a scam, and some of them can be a scam, but most of them is a legit thing. And if I choose any of those and I really dedicate myself to any of those, I could be successful. But in order to be successful in anything, you need to commit, I think, minimum 2 to 3 years of your life in order to be successful in anything. So don't believe that a system or a strategy or anybody's promise can give you a kind of an easy way to success. It's just not possible. And it's very important to be clear about this. Like going into a gym and going into a very expensive gym and paying a lot of money for an expensive gym, it's not a guarantee for having a six-pack ab. To have a six-pack ab, you need to go to the gym and you need to go to the work. So you can't go to the gym reception at the end of the month and say, guys, I pay a lot of money for you as a member, and look at me, I don't have the six-pack ab. So it doesn't work like this. So it's very important to know 2-3 years dedicated, committed work. So there are no tactics, no strategies. Whatever direction you take, it's gonna take time and it's gonna take dedication. Very interesting point. Any comments, guys, so far? Next one is a very interesting point personally for me in my life, because I am the person who, the point 8 is very true. So usually I wanted to accept, I wanted to succeed alone. And success is a team sport, period. So it's very, very rare when anybody gets successful alone. And I always love to see when there is a pair, there is a family like you, Kay here, and I do it with my family as well. So success is a team sport, and it's a big mistake if anybody wants to do anything alone, because it's just not possible. That's why having a community, having a mentor, having a coach is always a good thing, because this is the only way, I believe. Guys, I would like you to speak a little bit. Please give me a question, give me a comment, give me anything.
Okay, I will go. You're obviously now in a situation to be able to share this with a confidence.
Yes.
How was your very beginnings in SFM? What was your core limiting belief, apart from the 8th one, or yeah, the 8th one? Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, when I joined SFM back in 2017, 1st of January, I was very skeptic. I didn't know whether it seemed too good to be true. I was very skeptic about the whole thing, and I had my own limiting beliefs that are because I'm a medical doctor. I'm not a tech savvy guy, and online business involves computer and building this, building that, and I didn't know whether I can do it. And I, being a man, being a macho, I had the limiting beliefs of what if I fail? What my family and friends would tell me if I fail. It sucks when you fail, and I told you don't do that because look, you failed again, these kind of comments. So I had quite a few limiting beliefs, my English, my look, and all these kind of things. But at the same time, I'm an entrepreneur, and I built up 2 businesses in my life. And I learned about mistakes. I learned about how difficult it is to build up businesses, And for example, just to give you numbers, when I built up my medical practice in the UK, I invested £96,000 in that business, and by the end of the first year, I made £56,000 loss. This is how a brick and mortar business is built and started, because you have to cover a lot of costs, equipment, hiring, a room, and everything. The beauty of the online is you don't need all this. You can start to do it in a micro steps from home. You don't need these big investments. And another advantage that you can stay behind, you can be hidden. you can sell products in Amazon or anywhere else without exposing yourself. So going back to the original question, I had all these limiting beliefs, but two things helped me in SFM. One is the community. We are 3,000 of us, every walk of life you can imagine, every. We have Landria, who is a absolutely successful millionaire Wall Street banker. She had a movie as well. So we have very successful people, and we have people who are just starting their first steps. They never ever done anything. So we are a community. You can find people who are at your own level, and we have mentors like myself. So I am here, guys, for you to help your journey. And I'm not alone in SFM with this attitude that everybody is helping each other. So it sounds too good to be true, but guys, this is the case. And I don't know whether I have answered your question. If yes, that's good. If not, please help me to answer to the point that you asked originally.
No, I think you have definitely said what you have answered what I asked. It's I guess this particular exercise today is to push us along and to sort of start chipping away some of our limiting beliefs, and that's the reason why you want us to participate.
Yes, so absolutely.
So on that account, I will say mine, and that's number 3. I'm not good enough.
Okay, yeah. You know, this is a core. So I think there is. If you ask Jeff Bezos, who is the founder of Amazon and who is the richest person on the earth, if you ask this question, I'm not sure whether he answered yes, I'm good enough. I'm not sure. So it's such a ingrained human thing that we don't think that we're good enough, and it's kind of all right. You can have this belief, and the whole point of this webinar is to bring everything to the surface. Be conscious about these self-beliefs and do your thing in spite of them. Do your thing anyway. So it's all right if you have any or more of these limiting beliefs, know about them, check in with them, tick them, okay, I have this, but it doesn't stop me to do what I need to do. This is the point of this webinar. So if I can achieve that you come clear with your limiting beliefs, and you say, okay, I have this, I have that, now I'm gonna, and I didn't know that I have the 5th, that, for example, okay, I have that, okay, but I'm gonna work on them, but none of these gonna stop me to do whatever I need to do. That's the point of this webinar.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. The 9 is an easy one. As we talked about it in point 7, guys, there is no get rich quick scheme out there on the internet. We need to work. We need to put our energy, work, and everything into our personal development. So if anybody has the lotto or the get rich quick mentality, it definitely won't lead to long-term success. So we need to accept it. Yeah, being unwilling to invest in yourself. So this is something that I learned early on, that we need to invest in ourselves, in our personal education. We need to invest in our businesses. For example, a typical thing here is a marketing expense. So they kind of a benchmark is a 10%. So in my private practice, I don't invest 10% of my revenue into marketing, and I'm not sure whether it's a good thing, but in my private practice, the word of mouth is the main source of the new patients. So I'm a little bit comfortable with this. and I don't spend on marketing enough, but we need to invest in different things in order to be able to grow. And maybe at this level, the most important thing where you need to invest is your education. Because as you grow, you create a much better position for yourself. So the more skills you have, the better mindset you have, the better understanding of the world you have, the more opportunities gonna come into your world. So very important to accept this fact and be friendly with this fact and put it in the core of your heart that you need to invest in yourself. You know, all of our situation is different. I'm a medical doctor. Obviously, I can invest more in myself than someone who is just want to get out of their, for example, working as a waiter or waitress in a pizzeria, and they want to get out of there. Obviously, they start their investment in a smaller step. Maybe someone need to go to become a Uber driver to get the money that they can invest in themselves. But roughly, I invest £15,000 every year in my personal development. And I include in this my medical training courses, my digital training courses, personal development, everything, roughly 10,000–15,000 pounds a year. That's what I spend on my personal development.
So would you mind sharing with you what was your last year's personal development investment? And how did it help you?
So my biggest personal development investment last year was SFM. I joined, I joined in 17, and in 17, I went into the elite level. And then in a couple of months' time, I went into the import experts level when you can learn how to sell physical products on Amazon. And it was in 2018 when I invested in the rest of the SFM. That was a big investment up to the top level in SFM. And last year, my biggest investment was 11,000 or 13,000 pounds that I paid for a business. This guy is Jason James. He is a multiple award-winning. He is the best speaker in the United Kingdom. And I invested in his courses for public speaking, for how to become a coach, how to come up with a coaching session. That was only 13,000 pounds in itself. And I invested minimum 5,000 pounds in medical related training courses. So last year, I invested around 18,000 pounds.
Wow.
So, but you know, medicine is very expensive. Only to be appraised, to have an appraisal, which is an obligatory thing, so you have to have it. I pay £1,500 for that only. So medicine is expensive, but beyond medicine, I really invest a lot of money in my personal skills and these kind of things.
So the coaching program you've taken on is so it can help you transition into a digital economy?
No. And it was a very interesting thing because I met with Jason. I immediately saw that the mistake he does is he doesn't promote digital, he doesn't promote online. So Jason is working with entrepreneurs. So if you have a business idea, he works with you. And when I was a part of the 20 people in the auditorium with Jason, there were a lot of people there working on a brick and mortar business. And I, as a digital guy, if it was my own training, I would have gone to them and I said, stop pursuing this model, the business idea is good, but put it in an online environment and work on the online version of the same idea. Don't go into a brick and mortar business. Thank you. I've built up 2 brick and mortar businesses. Both of them are very, very successful, but no more brick and mortar businesses. Thank you very much. I want the automation. I want the scalability. I want to reach the global market from the comfort of my home. It's enough to serve only a 10 miles radius around my brick and mortar business. No more brick and mortar businesses. If it makes sense, guys.
Yes. Thank you.
Another thing is giving up too quickly, way too quickly. So it's you need to know that when you start a business, it's gonna be difficult initially. There will be hurdles. As I said, the hurdles will be for a reason. Yes, Raymond.
I wish to thank the lady who has asked you questions. I'm sorry, I get disturbed by other things like phone calls coming in, so I missed just a few things. Okay. But her questions are very incisive and helpful. And I just wish to encourage and to thank her, because she's probably speaking for some of us without necessarily having the awareness. I just want to commend her for asking the question, but particularly to thank you for your frank, honest answers.
Yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely. You know, yeah, Nelly, Raymond was complimenting you, so just know about that. Okay, thank you, Raymond. Absolutely, yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so giving up way too quickly is the pair, or the positive pair of this is the never give up attitude. I don't know who is the big guy out there, but maybe it's Tony Robbins, who said that if you want to be successful, you need to burn up the bridges behind you. There is no plan B. So that's the never give up attitude, because if you know that you can step back, or that you have a way back, you have a plan B, you can step back, you know, maybe you're gonna give up and you're gonna step back. But if you burn up the bridges, it's a tough one. But definitely, if you don't want to go to that, you know, strength or to burn up the bridges, but definitely not giving up by the first hurdle is a very important trait. And the best way to do that is having a big goal. Having a big goal that, for example, you would like to provide a certain lifestyle to your family, or you would like to travel the world, and this kind of pull motivation can you pull through the hurdles. But from pure will, and if you wanted to have more money, interestingly, having more money is not a strong enough goal to push you through on all the hurdles. That's why it's much better if you have a big goal and it pulls you through. I don't know whether it makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, not committing to one path, it's definitely for me. So the best way is if you really commit to one path and you follow that up and you become successful on that. And guys, I do my facial aesthetic practice. I have a product on Amazon. I'm working on another product on Amazon. I do online training and I do affiliate marketing. And this is the best recipe to not become good enough in any of these. But and I'm gonna be again very honest, and I think what I'm gonna say now will be very, very valuable for you guys, because ultimately in life I believe we need to follow our passions. And I honestly love my medical practice, and when I work with fillers and Botox and these kind of things, and I have a family-like relationship with my patients. But in itself, that I work from an office and I work with my hands, so it's a brick and mortar business, I am not happy as a medical practitioner. This is the reason why I started to originally look for something online. And I do affiliate marketing, which I like. And this is a journey, and you observe yourself. And finally, there is a very important question. What would you do if you had all the money, if you had $1 billion? And if I honestly asked this question from me, my answer was traveling and flying my drone and taking beautiful videos and images. And the second thing that I would do is teaching. And this is what I'm doing here right now, guys, because I really, really like that. And I'm a filler and Botox teacher as well. And this is what I like, teaching. And when I jump from one path to the other and I not commit to one path is the reason because I didn't find my passion in any single path. And I'm really envy, really jealous about those people when I see someone committed to one path, finding their passion in that single path. I'm very jealous, but unfortunately, it hasn't given to me, or I'm still on my journey, and maybe in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, I'm gonna get to a point when I'm in a position when I can say, guys, I leave everything, and now I'm just dedicate myself to this one. Because what I'm doing, this single thing, is what I love to do. There is a need for that. I am good at it. And I can earn a good money from it. And this is the ikigai. This is what the Japanese people teach us. I go there for a sec to show you guys. This is the ikigai. So something, ikigai in Japanese means reason for being. And according to the Japanese, that's the ikigai, that's the middle of the graph. When you love what you are doing, there is a need for that, you are good at it, and you can be paid for this. This is the absolute ideal scenario. Because if you love what you are doing and you're good at it, but there is no need for it, you won't be paid for it. So you can, it can't be sustainable. Any comments, any questions here, guys? So I'm still, obviously, I'm still, as a 49 years old person, I'm still on my journey. I'm still finding the one path. What I know for sure, it is online. It's not in the brick and mortar, it's in the online. So that's why I'm absolutely committed in learning the online skills. But at this point of my journey, I'm not 100% sure whether it's gonna be e-commerce. So I'm gonna be absolutely happy of creating my products and selling it on Amazon or wherever, or it's the affiliate side, or at the end of the line, I'm gonna have my own online courses and I'm gonna be a coach. And it's a similar journey for you guys. You also gonna find your path, but if you accept one advice from me, it should be online. No question, hands down. And just look outside. This is the lockdown and the pandemic. Everything online is booming. Anybody who can work online is happy. All the industries that can't be taken online suffering. And this virus has brought the future into our present, because this would have this is gonna happen anyway, but it's happening quicker.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, how to create right habits. So again, it's a big subject, and I already 10 minutes past 9, and apologize, guys, taking your time. Creating the right habits, huge topic, very important topic, because our results today made of the habits we have. And if we want to have a better, this is neuro-linguistic programming, NLP again. If you want a better result in your life, you need to change the tiny habits, the tiny decision points throughout your whole day, because your results right now, or your quality of life and everything are the results of your decisions. Creating better habits gonna result in better life, better lifestyle, and in everything. Again, trying to please everyone is pleasing no one. This is back to the topic of self-love, back to the topic of not giving a shit what other people think about you. It's not your business what others think about you. In business in general, and it's very important to know your niche, know your avatar, to know the group of people who you are selling to, and please them. Don't try to please everybody. And whatever you're gonna do, yeah, very interesting things. I'm sure, guys, you are watching YouTube videos as well, whatever you interest you. But sometimes I see extremely good quality, extremely valuable videos. And there are always people out there who are giving the thumb down to these very high quality. And I'm always thinking, who are these guys who are giving the thumb down to these really, I see there's a lot of work on that particular video, a lot of value in high quality video. And there are people out there always who are giving the thumb down. And I can imagine the creator, you know, and you are, if you are at the beginning of your journey and you got a thumb down, how do you feel? A thumb down can result you stop doing whatever you are doing. So that's why it's a very important mindset, guys. When you start your journey, you start your business, don't care about what others say. You have a group of people around you, your mentors, your mastermind group, your community. And this is a big thing in SFM, because within that community, hands down, nobody will give you a bad review. Only you will listen, you will get constructive criticism or constructive things. But you need, when you go out there to the real world, you need to be strong enough, not giving a shit what others tell you. Very important. You have to have this power. You have to have this mindset. Again, comparing yourself to others who are ahead of you. Don't do that. Very difficult. I do it all the time. I need to stop myself doing it. And this is why I'm bringing it up here, because it leads nowhere. It just pulls you down if you keep comparing yourself. I remember I was a beginner doctor. I compared myself to the successful doctors. I was sitting there where you are sitting, guys, thinking about whether doing anything online, and comparing myself to the guy who is talking and earning money from the internet already. And if don't do that. Just do the next step where you are. Don't think about anything else. Very important. Yeah, and this is my last point. A very, very important point. I see this. I don't know how many guys you know with 3, 4, or 5 diplomas, still living with their mother and doing nothing. Why? Because when we do something, especially when you are early in your journey, you never feel that you are ready to do anything. No, I don't know this. I don't know that yet. No, I need to watch one more video. I need to learn. Guys, you need to take action. In spite of having the feeling that you are not good enough. And this is making mistakes worth gold. The worst thing, if you are stuck in the learning phase and you don't take action. we are as humans, we are very much afraid of making mistakes. And I don't have this picture here, I took this picture in a rock climbing place, and it was along the lines that the master had made much more mistakes than the beginners had ever even tried to do it. So making mistakes is good. So again, we need to control our mind. We need to control the monkey, which is telling you are not good enough, or don't do that because you are not there yet. You need to do it. Do it. Get out there, take action, and learn from it. So this learn, do, teach is the best. Learn something, do it, and teach it to someone. Because when you teach something to someone, you need to be able to explain it from multiple angles, so it sinks down really to a much better level. So don't stuck guys in a learning phase. So these are the limiting beliefs I have been able to come up with. I'm sure there are more out there, but as an entrepreneur and as a member of SFM for 3 years, these are the ones that kind of I come up with. So if you guys have anything else that you think important and I can add to the list, please let me know.
I think I would say this is an endless subject.
Yes.
And it never stops, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just really, it's important to take care about our limiting beliefs, accept them, recognize them, working on them. But the most important thing is to look ahead and take action, really. And when you catch yourself thinking the bullshitting or, monkey talking, and you catch yourself, stop it and ask a question. Maybe that's my summary of this webinar, is ask a good question. Instead of letting the monkey talk, instead of letting yourself, pulling yourself down, ask a good question. What would be the best next step now? How would Jeff Bezos solve this issue? If Bill Gates would be in this situation right now, what would he do?
Either of them are not my heroes.
Who is your hero? who is your hero?
Oh, she's really sharp, eh? She's really smart,
Well,
eh?
Funnily enough, today I've listened to Stuart on the productivity talk he was giving for, I think it was about almost coming to 2 hours in length. And he was quoting quite a few smart people that, that I would look up to. But this would be, it's for example, just an example, you are somebody I look up to. And that's the reason I have signed up with you.
Thank you, really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Nelly. And I hope on the long run, I'm gonna, what's the English expression for that? I'm gonna serve for that kind of leap of faith. So,
and one thing that I'm quite curious about, and it's something that it's let me just check the number that was, hold on a second. You said you had this issue, or you're working on this issue. It's number 12, not committing on one path. And you said you're one of them, but and I kind of noticed that, but you are still very accomplished. In many ways, you are still very accomplished. But do you wish that you can focus solely on one path, and that one can talk louder than any other, or it can serve your purpose?
This is the question that you're asking me every day, myself, because I'm really, analyzing this situation, and I'm looking for the one path that I can commit to. and maybe it's my blood to really, I need to excite myself, and that's why I need a couple of things around me, because if I really dedicated myself to one project, maybe it become boring after a while. So I don't know whether I'm answering your question now, Nelly, but I'm looking for the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I enjoy most of these things that I do, but I need to recognize that because I'm doing so many things, I can't be really successful in all of them or one of them. So if I wanted to be 100% conscious, and I needed to make a decision, okay, from now on, I'm gonna dedicate myself to this direction, and I'm gonna master that direction. But I'm afraid of being bored after, I don't know, a year or so, or 2 years. That's why I'm doing a little bit this, a little bit that, and maybe at the end I need to accept the fact that I won't be as good as I don't know who in that particular thing because I do multiple things. But it keeps me happy. I have a kind of a success in most of the areas, and I enjoy doing those kind of things. But it's a journey. I still learning. I still reflecting on these kind of things. But I consider this as a weakness, and maybe I need to stop considering it as a weakness.
Yeah, I would say that. I think it's advantage. It's advantage rather than weakness.
This is again, we can argue about this, whether it's a weakness or strength.
Maybe it's not being in focus if you look at it from that perspective. Yeah, but it's achieving a balance really in life, because you're trying to do things that, look, you have so many parts you're doing very successfully, and when I'm doing my work, most of my time just goes doing one job, so it's and it makes me happy, but there's still so many other things that I could do in that time.
Absolutely. Raymond, you need to I need to unmute you. Raymond, you need to unmute yourself. Yeah. Okay.
I think she's raised a very pertinent and relevant point. I'm just wondering, is it okay for us to have a presupposition that you only have to have one thing that you are good at? I have a suspicion that usually most hardworking, focused, capable individuals have more than one competence wherein they demonstrate an above average level of service delivery or success or accomplishment, whichever terminology you want to use. And I think that you're a father, you're a husband, you're a doctor, you're a teacher, you're a coach, you're a businessman. All these things still reflect the multiplicity of roles you play, and you play well. I don't think there's something inherently negative about being capable of wearing a number of hats. But I accept there is a general maxim that somebody could be classified as a jack of all trades and a master of none. But sometimes it's used in a negative way. But guess how much useful and helpful is a jack of all trades? Even though he's not a master, he can help a lot of people. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, well, you have a point. Yeah, so this is what, again, happy medium, the balance that you said. So yeah, so
I think the lady sounds to me like she's really switched on, and I think it'll be unfair if she doesn't explore other avenues of her competences. I think we will miss out on the other divine sparks in her life.
I just joined, Raymond, I've just joined this community last Friday.
Well, I'm quite excited about you, and I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm quite grateful. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, Nelly, you are doing good, determined, right path. Very good. Guys, that's it for tonight. I really hope that it was a valuable environment for you tonight, and that this time, this 1.5 hours, was a good investment for all of us into ourselves. I really hope so.
Thank you.
And guys, if you have any questions, you know my email address. Drop me a line. Let me know. Otherwise, I run these Thursday evening webinars. I keep doing those, and I really try to come up with a similar interesting topic for next week. If you have a suggestion for a topic for next week, I would really appreciate that. But I try to be value again next week. Any final thoughts? Any final questions, guys?
Thank you for your time, Bella. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Have a lovely evening, and see you later, guys. Talk to you soon.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.